In the Bible, we are reading from Luke chapter 2, verse 16 onwards. So they, that is the shepherds, hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby, who was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what had been told about this child. And all who heard were amazed at what the shepherds had said to them. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told. So the shepherds who we read about in this clip of Jesus' birth story knew what it was to live in mess. They were not a very popular group of people. Shepherds were considered to be people who didn't fit into society in those days. They often had a track record of convictions and definitely didn't fit into the religious system of that day. They spent their entire lives taking care of sheep, and the night shift, who were those who visited Jesus, were the bottom of the shepherd ranking. Their job was dangerous at times, but mostly it was boring and tedious. This is who Jesus, God with skin on, appeared to first. That breaks all the norms. The brief thought I want to leave you with today is, in the mess of their lives, the shepherd's perspective was changed because of an encounter with Jesus. As we heard last week in the Advent series, there was a miraculous display of angels appearing in the skies outside of Bethlehem with a message to head to find this baby who would change the world. So firstly, the shepherds responded. They legged it to Bethlehem. They found Jesus in an animal feeding trough in a cave-like stable. A really messy start to life. And immediately, their perspective was changed by this encounter. We know this because they couldn't keep it in. The reaction from people who had heard from them was amazement. Now already this was a real turnaround from how society would have looked at them before this encounter. When my children were born over 20 years ago and over 17 years ago, it changed my life completely. It changed my perspective. It unlocked worship of God because I was in amazement of God, who is the designer and creator. Yet the shepherds were responding to another couple's child. Surely this is no ordinary child born. And that's my encouragement to you today, is to take time over this next month to go on a journey to encounter Jesus by reading one of his biographies of his life in the Bible, the books of Matthew, Mark, Luke or John, and be open to your perspective being changed. If you need a paper copy, then please contact us, message us. For the shepherds, the dots all joined up, from the angel's encounter to the baby Jesus encounter, and their perspective was changed, and they responded in worship of God and telling the whole world.